Hey guys, Tim here from Boogie Snail Mastering. Hope you're having a very great day. And today I'll be covering some fundamental tools and basic techniques I apply to master jazz. I will also show you some secret mastering tricks that nobody will tell you about. Before we start, please remember, if you have a mix that you need mastered, request a quote at bsmastering.com and receive 50% of your first order. And now, let's get started. Jazz, an American art form and an international phenomenon. Jazz music is a rich artistic heritage, a product of cultural collaboration and a universal language of tolerance and freedom. Jazz is not the result of choosing a tune, but an ideal that is created first in the mind, inspired by one's passion, and willed next in playing music is a language, sometimes intimate, often boisterous, but always layered with experience and life profoundly lived. Jazz is not found in websites or books or even written down in sheet music. It is in the act of creating the form itself. Jazz music thrives on instrumental diversities, the player's individual sound becoming the desired proficiency. This is where their passion is, a kind found nowhere else. The approach to mastering jazz is the same approach as to mastering any other type of music. I personally do what's right for that particular piece of music. I always communicate with my clients about the intention and then follow the cue from the music itself and then do what I think is right. There are of course some genre conventions, but jazz covers a wide range of styles. Some subgenres or pieces may require compression or even an upfront sound, while some require very little or none. It depends entirely on the music and what the musician and producer intend to achieve. My tip for mastering jazz: just go and hear it being played live. So today I have this smooth noir jazz song with female vocals, brass, saxophone, woodwinds, strings, double bass, and jazz drums. This music is slow and moody and is usually found on soundtracks for noir movies of the 1950s. First, let's have a listen to a part of this track before and then after mastering. Next, I will show you guys my mastering chain. It is completely in the box, and I will cover some techniques you may apply to master your own jazz tracks. For fair comparison, I carry out level matched for original and mastered versions. First, I use mod orange EQ to apply low cut at 20 Hertz, just for the low end roll off. I do it in the stereo portion, and this low cut tightens up the low end. So next I deal with resonances in low mid area, also in stereo portion, and it makes the track more relaxed, so to say. So and now let's have a listen to this track with this mod orange EQ on. Next, I use mod blue EQ and I apply a low shelf here at 99 Hertz just for the bass. I don't do any peaky boost from 400 to 1K because there's so much crucial energy in there already. Then I make a boost between 5K and 2K at 3.5K because 5K makes this track to pop and 2K makes it to honky. Therefore, I make a boost in between. It is to accentuate the kind of vibe that's built into this track. So next, I apply a shelf boost at on the side at 18K just to put some air, and that's not actually perceivable as a shelf. It's more perceivable in a psychoacoustic way as a little bit of sort kind of fuzz and sweetness. And now let's have a listen to this track with this mod blue EQ on. Next, I use my secret weapon, which is mod red EQ, and apply a gentle slope, this one, for this track to sound great. Mod red EQ sounds very natural in all filter shapes. Originally, it is used by many famous mastering engineers on classical works. It sounds awesome when the mix has strings, and this track has strings. So I add air to the strings without changing the color at all, and it sounds like a charm. And now let's have a listen to this track with this beautiful EQ on. Next, I use Unison mastering compressor to glue this track. I set slow attack time at 50 milliseconds. I set release time at 200 milliseconds. I set 1:5 to 1 ratio, and then I pull the threshold down until I hear things come together. So, and it gives the song more presence. And now let's have a listen to this song with this compressor on. So next, to create a certain depth and unity, I apply my secret trick with reverb, because it is more pleasant psychoacoustically and it appears more coherent for the brain. And in this case, I just simply love it. For this track, I use Ocean Way Studio from UAD, and in this case it is just a room ambience of this beautiful orchestral chamber in LA. So I apply this low cut, and I use this broad stage, and I also pick this omnidirectional microphones. I just use one mic in the middle, and certainly I use reverb mode. And so the idea is to blend wet and dry mix in such a way that I do not hear the reverb itself, but I would miss it if I switch it off. So, and as you may see, this ratio between wet and dry is very, very low. So now let's have a listen to this track again with this Ocean Way Studio on. Finally, I use a limiter. And for this task, I use my beloved Sonax limiter, which can do wonders if used correctly. I have found that turning off safe mode really opens up the sound for the better. The enhance feature on the Sonax limiter is quite a beast. It gives me a nice, clean, wide master. It really has some extraordinary capabilities when it comes to the sonic choices I can make at this final level of processing. And now finally let's be original and mastered tracks again. Please remember, when mastering jazz, you should aim to achieve a mellow sound, not dark as night, not bright as day, but creamy as chocolate. The quality of plugins does matter in achieving depth, loudness, and sound. For jazz mastering, using some real tube and high-end solid-state EQs and compressors would be even a better choice, I would say. Anyway, hopefully something in this video will help you to master your own tracks in this genre. That's about it for this topic, and if you like my videos, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to support my channel. So have a very nice and great day, and see you next time.